Yo everybody, what's going on? This is Keegan from Kman Reviews. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button. And if you have any opinions at all that you would like to share, make sure to leave them down in the comment section. BlaQ Chidori and Honcho. Bloodblix presents Black Blood and Tears. BlaQ Chidori is an American rapper, songwriter, storyteller, artist who I'm very familiar with, not just in his discography, but also just in general. We've been having a few back and forth conversations, and all that eventually led to me being featured on his EP Ragnarok, which I did a review on as well. If you're curious, there will be a link in the corner for you to go check that out. And just like that, he has released another EP here, this time a collaborative effort with fellow American underground rapper Honcho and producer Bloodblix, titled Black Blood and Tears. Always excited to cover BlaQ Chidori. I may not dive into the depths very often myself when it comes to a lot of underground music, but BlaQ Chidori has managed to keep me invested a lot of the time. Apparently he's also putting out another album soon, supposedly titled White Melodies, which I'm also very excited for, but as of now, we have this EP here to tide us over, so let's just dive right in. What are my thoughts on Black Blood and Tears? Let's find out as I review it track by track. Since there were no singles prior to the release, we will just start at the top of the track list, with that being the title track, Black Blood and Tears, albeit with a little bit of a different spelling of tears. And this really kicks off the EP with a bang, being one of the most punchy and loud BlaQ Chidori songs I've heard in a while. The production is so dense and meaty, the piano is strong and extremely upfront, the fizzling percussion packs so much power, and the occasional grimy explosion of bass really helps to solidify this song as a sheer banger. There's also some chill harmonies resting in the background that provide a subtle backing melody alongside the piano, as Chidori's voice is so commanding, even over the sheer weight of this beat. Lyrically, Chidori lays it all on the line here, describing his upbringing in vivid detail, struggling with his emotional stability, and carrying all this baggage as he enters into the real world. Amazing intro. Hold On returns to the familiarity of BlaQ Chidori's music. In fact, this instrumental is almost pure ambience. The main thing here to even mention is the rumbling synthwork and throbbing bass that help to inject the song with a chill, easygoing vibe, a complete contrast to the opening title track. Alongside are some melodic background vocals and the thinnest of thin drums, staples of BlaQ Chidori's brand of conscious and vulnerable rap. Speaking of which, unsurprisingly, the MCs are the star of the show. Their vocals really shine and stick out over this heavy, atmospheric beat. Chidori takes the more laid-back approach, while Honcho has a much more sharp and aggressive flow, almost to the point where it doesn't quite fit, but thankfully that feeling has worn off of me, even if it is still a little bit jarring to hear that much energy for the first bit of his verse. I do think the outro beat drags on a little bit too long in my opinion, taking up the last 30 seconds of the already meager 2.5 minute runtime. I do love a lot of the lyrics here though, BlaQ Chidori especially, how he says he does this just to speak his mind and he's not trying to nab a record deal. Both verses are very short, and frankly I would have loved to hear the track expanded upon a bit more, but for what it is, it's still pretty good. We Winnin', which is a short minute-long interlude, which has a very familiar vibe to Hold On. Same minimal, understated instrumental, although with a tense, ticking hi-hat, which feels like it's building up to something like a beat drop, but it never does, aside from some slapping snare and booming bass. The vocal harmonies here are much louder, reminding me of a choir performance as the vocals talk about staying winning, not playing games, always on top and from the perspective of a confident older man. It is just an interlude though, and it's something I'm not really too interested in keeping. Splendid featuring JD Era is just such a nice song. Like, this one is really nice. Might just be my favorite on the entire EP. The production is so buttery and smooth with the clinking, chimey synths, the slow yet rich pounding of the drum, and the darting synths. There's certainly a lot of compression in this beat as well. You can really tell when the beat cuts off a few times, but it's so extravagant in its execution that it's hard not to just vibe to it. JD Era starts the song, instantly captivating with a nasally inflection and an incredible usage of rhyme schemes, and the way the beat cuts again to segue into Chidori's segment is effortless as he throws in a bit more energy to his flow and amazing bars to fit with the punchier beat, at least for him. Honcho's razor-tight delivery is a perfect way to cap off the song, showing just as well that he can pull off some incredible punchlines and rhyme schemes himself. Really, this track just feels like three guys coming together and doing what they do best, and it's truly a splendid song. And finally, the closer Royal Blood featuring Timbo King, MOB, and King James is a track that really reminds me of the massive conglomerative single that was Gods vs. Mortals from Ragnarok, in that this is just a massive posse cut, but this one truly feels like something special, like the entire EP was just building up to this moment. It's 6 minutes long, and it's damn amazing. This beat is probably the most hard on the entire project, even more so than the opener. The fluctuating background vocals, they almost feel eerie in how the melodies are arranged, like I'm almost hearing a cult chanting. The percussion and bass almost feel hollow, but still have so much weight, and the way it's propelled for the entire runtime, it does not let up at all. Non-stop energy with exciting, riveting performances, and speaking of those performances, every MC here kills it. Absolutely kills it. Of course, the headline acts do their thing and do their thing spectacularly. I especially like how BlaQ Chidori ends the track with a great verse, but it was so nice to hear Monstar's gritty, rough, and mean delivery again. Such a fitting beat for him to go off on. I also really love the brief melodic section right in the midway point of the song, and King James, who I previously praised on Ragnarok, yet again does an amazing job with his verse as I expected. This track also has a similar feeling to Splendid in that there's a lot of flexing, there's a lot of braggadocio, and it's just a very satisfying way to end the EP. Overall, yeah, another stellar addition to the BlaQ Chidori catalog. I think what really tied this one together to be so gripping and captivating was Bloodblix's production. The guy certainly knows how to play off the MC's strengths. He switched the tones up a few times so the entire project wasn't all one note. There was a pretty even spread of bangers and more subdued, smooth jams across the 4 core songs. I'd say my one major gripe with this EP, though, is some of the structuring can be a bit bare bones, especially on the earlier songs here, that in my opinion were either too short in terms of runtime, or the verses and impact of the MCs as a whole is pretty small. But this EP still had a bunch of killer tracks on it, amazing guest features, and also was an amazing introduction to Patty Honcho for me. I look forward to hearing what he may have coming in the future, and this only helped to solidify my love for BlaQ Chidori and underground hip-hop even more. I'm feeling an 8.5 out of 10 on this EP. Well guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.